Adeena Mignogna is the author of the Robot Galaxy series. She's an engineer working in aerospace and a long-time science fiction geek with a strong desire to inspire others through speaking and writing about robots, AI, aliens, virtual reality, and all things geekish. Adeena, take it away.
Great. Thank you so much. So tonight I'm going to be reading a chapter from my book, Crazy Foolish Robots. Now, previously in the book, we're introduced to my main human character, Ruby Palmer, who is 19 years old and living on a space station in the middle of the asteroid belt. But now this chapter that I'm going to read is in a different point of view, that of one of the robots referred to in the title of the book, and his name is Swell Driver. Swell Driver. An algorithm is a set of instructions. Swell Driver was well aware of that fact. Its travels across the galaxy left it with a lot of time to think. One of the great things that Swell Driver had was that most robots hardly ever contemplated the origin of the algorithms that were so important to their daily life. Why did so few ever ponder the creation of any particular algorithm, the roots of their existence? Did any ponder the goodness of any particular algorithm, or even if any algorithm was still worthwhile to continue to persist? Swell Driver asked questions that most other robots did not. It came to learn that most of the algorithms responsible for itself and the other robots are copied from original templates. Those templates were all kept pristine in the core. The core was a central repository for functional algorithms and the base templates for robots and robot life. There was, in fact, a specific division of the core known as the Hall of Templates, which bore the responsibility of ensuring that the original templates remain uncorrupted. It was a sacred place, and one that most robots understood played a large part in their individual creation, but they didn't understand much of the details beyond that. A team of robots was assigned to work in the Hall of Templates, created from a specialized template for that exact work. These robots spent a large part of their existence contemplating how they were lucky enough to come nearly full circle in their lives. Swell Driver obviously did not work in the Hall of Templates, but like all robots, it was controlled by an assortment of algorithms, most of which it was well aware of. It knew, as all robots did, that they were forbidden from making modifications to their algorithms. Strict penalties existed for any robot that did. It also knew that several robots were willing to risk their lives with modifications. Swell Driver's primary algorithm involved piloting spaceships to ferry things across the galaxy. At the moment, Swell Driver was instructed to head towards a planet labeled Biomuckball 73. Its database entry on Biomuckball 73 noted that there were biological life forms on this planet. But the database entry was incomplete, not having any biological DNA in the record. Hence, Swell Driver's secondary programming objective was to pick up samples and return them to its home planet for testing. Swell Driver was so named for this very reason. It was good at driving spaceships. Designs for spaceships also resided within the core, and there were algorithms upon algorithms on how to manufacture them. But no one knew who originally programmed the spacecraft template. Most robots cared little that this fact was lost in history, except for the few robots programmed to maintain their entire history, and the even fewer programmed to ask why. Swell Driver made several high-frequency tones, consisting of beeps and chirps, to communicate with the control panel of its spaceship. The control panel responded by producing a shorter series of tones back at Swell Driver. The control panel was also a robot of sorts, but an unsophisticated AI that could only do what Swell Driver asked of it. The frequency and pitch of the beeps and chirps elevated as Swell Driver grew more and more excited. In this instance, the translated conversation proceeded like this. "Are we there yet?" asked Swell Driver. "We are arriving in the Biomuck system," announced the ship's control panel computer. "Scan for biological life forms," directed Swell Driver. "For humans," it added. By now, Swell Driver had picked up and sorted through much of the collected data and was able to fix several, but in all likelihood not all, of the prior mistakes. The third planet contains numerous biological life forms, responded the computer. Set a course for, but there are also small groupings of life forms throughout the system. A sizable grouping is at present in the vicinity of a large asteroid near our position. Interesting. Set a course for, and there are sporadic individual life forms and spaceships in that vicinity. Very interesting. And how very fortunate. Lock on to the nearest one and set a course, ordered Swell Driver. There are several gas giant planets in this system, including one very large planet along our new course. Do you wish to proceed under manual control? Swell Driver scrutinized the details of this system's planets. The information was clear now that the ship's sensors were providing reliable live data rather than the potentially incomplete or malformed data of the database. There was indeed a gas giant adjacent to their present course, but far enough away from the host star that Swell Driver could perform its undoubtedly not famous because no one knew special maneuver, slingshotting the ship around the gravity well. In most planetary systems that Swell Driver had visited, the gas giants, if there were any at all, were too close to their host star to be safe. But out here in the middle of nowhere, well, this aspect of driving a ship made Swell Driver's circuits tingle with pleasure. Yes, manual control. I'll sling us around and then put us back on course to the human ship. The ship's computer did as ordered. Swell Driver was happier knowing that his algorithm would be completed that much sooner, making way for more interesting algorithms once Swell Driver returned to its home planet. Okay, so I hope everyone found that intriguing. I'll say that all the robot point of view chapters are my favorites. I love writing about robots, and especially from their point of view. So you'll see a lot more of that through the first 3 books in the series, which are available today. Crazy Foolish Robots, Robots Everywhere, and Silly Insane Humans. And I'm giving away paperback copies tonight of Crazy Foolish Robots. And the 4th book, which completes this series, is due out late May, and it's also available for pre-order on Amazon right now. And thank you for listening.